And look, we can sit up here all day and you can do it too. You can trash Carson Beck all you want. But Carson Beck isn't even going to be a factor in this game, for better or for worse, if the offensive line can't hold up.
Okay, that's kind of sorry. You can leave. Let's see you do this one.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hope all of you having a great Tuesday. Hope all of you having a great start to your week. If not, hope this video can make it a little bit better. Man, oh man, guess what we got to talk about again? The Georgia Bulldogs. Kirby Smart and them Bulldogs got a big, and I mean a big problem on their hands. And no, I am not talking about Carson Beck. You know what they say, when things in this life are going good for you, they tend to get better. On the downside, when things are going bad for you, they somehow, someway get worse. That's how it's going for Georgia right now, and guess who they play Saturday? Tennessee. We also have another minor topic to speak about, and that is Boston College's quarterback Thomas Castellanos. He is in a weird situation. Strap in, buckle up, get you a snack, get you a popcorn, get you a fair Millie Light to you and watch a video, because trust me, I do the same thing. But alright, man, blah, blah, shut the crap up. Now, for the do. Let's get into it. Hold on. Before we go any farther, I was reading a couple comments yesterday, and I came across this one. Genuine question. Why are you bald? Do you guys want to tell them? Do you want me to tell them? How do I even answer that? Who wrote this comment, Alex? To Mr. Alex, you're asking the wrong person. You should probably be asking God because he made me this way. The way he worded this question, he's acting like I got a choice. You know what? Should we ban Alex for even writing that? Let me know in the comment section, but that is besides the point. We got to get on to the football stuff. First things first, the breaking news came out earlier today that Boston College's quarterback, Thomas Castellanos, who was really good at the beginning of the season, has stepped away from the team after being benched. There's a lot of rumors swirling and going around. I'm not going to try to make any assumptions, but apparently, allegedly, he's dealing with some stuff mentally, and I can't really say I understand what's going on, but you kind of understand the situation. It's probably hard on him being benched. However, other people weren't too graceful in the comments. You got people saying stuff like this, got over 190 likes. Soft mentality. Quitting on your teammates after being benched this far into the season is crazy. Which I agree with, but yet again, we don't know the entire story, so I'm not going to rush to judgment or say anything like that. Like I said, you don't know what he's dealing with, you don't know what's going on with his life, and there's many more to this that we just don't know. But yeah, I did want to share the news with y'all that Castellanos, he has stepped away from the team. Never like to see that, wish him best of luck, and hopefully he bounces back. Many more things I could say about that, but moving along here to the main topic of the main encore, the main reason you clicked onto a video, we got to talk about the Georgia Bulldogs. I already know Georgia fans are like, really, Matt? Really? You've been talking nonstop about Georgia the past 3 or 4 days, and hey, man, y'all are the reason I'm doing it. What do I mean by that? More times than not, if your favorite football team, school, program, whatever you want to call them, they're doing just fine, we're probably not going to be talking about them a lot because there's just not a lot going on. They're playing great football, end of story. And when you're playing great football, there's no drama, nobody's on the hot seat, and yada, 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 you know how it goes. The greatest example I can give you is Oregon. Have we talked about Oregon a lot? Not really, and it's not because of anything they've done bad on the football field. It just has everything to do with there's no drama, and it's as simple as, yeah, they're playing great football, and we can end the conversation off there. But, and I have a really big but, if you're a team like at the beginning of the season, Alabama, and you lose to Vanderbilt, you don't look good against, who was it? Oh, yeah, South Carolina. You lose to Tennessee. That's when we start talking about your team a lot. Because obviously there's a lot of stuff to talk about going on there with the players, the coaching staff, the fan base, what people are saying, and et cetera, et cetera. Well, now we're kind of past talking about Alabama, and the new team that's been struggling of recent is Georgia. We talked all about Carson Beck the past couple of days. I've told y'all the past couple of weeks. I think it might have been a month now. The dude sucks. We're not going to talk about Carson Beck in this video, so do not expect that. And also, yesterday, we reacted to the video of the Georgia players celebrating with Ole Miss. And yes, I'm going to say that again. A Georgia football player was celebrating with Ole Miss after the game. There is a lot of context to that. If you haven't seen that video, I'm not going to explain it. Go watch it. We posted it yesterday. It's on like 8 minutes. Definitely worth the watch. Kirby Smart even called that same player an idiot and stupid. And now here we are. Fast forward time a little bit to today. We got to talk about Georgia's newest problem. We're not newest, but it's just the newest one we haven't addressed. I know a lot of you don't really pay attention to the trenches and the small things in college football games, and I don't expect you to. Most people at max are just going to pay attention to how the star players play and the quarterbacks, running backs, stuff like that. Not many people watching a college football game are going to point to an offensive lineman and go, oh my goodness, have you seen how well he's been protecting Carson Beck all year? Have you seen how well he's been blocking this game? game, that just doesn't happen. But for people like myself, that is a part of the job. I don't just break down the game itself, I break down the game within the game. And one of the biggest parts about college football that I firmly believe needs to be talked about more is the trenches. I said it after the game, I'm going to continue to say it. Ole Miss beat Georgia because they dominated, and yes, that's right, dominated them in the trenches. The MVP, or shall I say MVPs of that Georgia-Ole Miss game is the Ole Miss defensive line or front seven. They just bull rushed, did swim moves around that Georgia offensive line, and they couldn't do nothing about it. They couldn't stop them. On the day in total, Ole Miss had 5 sacks and 9 tackles for loss. And I'm not going to sit up here and show you every single play because I know a lot of you don't care about that. I don't want to make this an entire film breakdown. But here was one of the most pivotal plays in that ball game. Ole Miss kicks an earth field goal, extends their lead to 16-7, and Georgia is driving in Ole Miss's territory right before the end of the first half, and it's 3rd and 6. It's a big play because if Georgia can even get 3 points before the half, that'd be massive. It'd only be a 6-point game, 1 possession. And Pete Golden says, you know what? We're not going to blitz. We're only going to send 4. And guess what? Ole Miss gets to him with only sending 4 guys. And I'm talking about that edge rusher got to Carson Beck in about 2.5 seconds.
Cass Jones went out in motion. Back goes.
So I know what you're sitting there saying, okay, Matt, I saw the game. Why are you bringing this up? Great question, my friend. I'd love to answer it. As ferocious as Ole Miss's defense was in this most recent game, and as great as their edge rushers were, and as great as the defensive line was, Tennessee's is better. And you know what scares me about this Georgia offensive line? There are 0, and I mean 0 signs of improvement. If anything, this offensive line has got worse and worse and worse as the season has continued to progress. And that's bad news because, yet again, I don't want to discredit Ole Miss's defense. They put on a masterclass, but Tennessee's is better. And you want to know what Tennessee's strong suit is? Take a wild guess. You know what I'm about to say next. Their defensive line, edge rushers, and front seven. I'm not even just talking about that's the strong suit of their defense. I'm talking about for the entire team. Their edge rushers are going to do the exact same thing Ole Miss's did. And James Pierce Jr., watch out. That's all I'm going to say. One of my favorite players in the nation. And look, we can sit up here all day, and you can do it too. You can trash Carson Beck all you want. But Carson Beck isn't even going to be a factor in this game, for better or for worse, if the offensive line can't hold up. And people that know ball know this. Georgia didn't lose the game against Ole Miss because of Carson Beck. He didn't help them, but he's not the reason they lost. It was a total team effort. Georgia lost to Ole Miss because Georgia got dominated in the trenches. Simple as that. Trust me, I love to sit up here and crack jokes with you guys and say, yeah, Carson Beck sucks, but he wasn't just completely awful in that game. And here's the problem for Beck. When he's struggling and it's affecting him mentally, he's second-guessing himself, it doesn't help when your offensive line has been one of the worst in the SEC. When you have an interception problem like Beck has and is still currently dealing with, you hold the ball a little bit longer and you start second-guessing your reads. And that's bad because, well, like we've been talking about, you don't need to be second-guessing your reads when you don't have a lot of time to pass due to your offensive line not being that good. Can Georgia even score against Tennessee? I don't know, and I'm asking you guys a genuine question. Let me know in the comments down below. Here's what I do know, and this is for certain. If that Georgia offensive line plays the same way they did against Ole Miss, they won't score many points. They'll be lucky to score 10. I tell you this much, though, and this is not the preview video. If I was Tennessee, I would not want to play this Georgia team because they are in a scary predicament. Their backs are now officially against the wall. They got to win out. This is just common knowledge. People in this life, I'm not even just talking about college football, but everyday people like me and you, when people's backs are against the wall, that's when they perform the best. It's nothing more, nothing less than natural human instinct. You got to do what you got to do. Many more things I could say. I'm going to end off the video here. Let me know your thoughts down below. But